I'm going to be recording this. Okay, so let me just back up and say, well, I forgot to hit the record button. So if you're getting this taped, we are going to be cutting the spaghetti squash in half and scooping out all the pulp and adding olive oil and salt and pepper, avocado oil, and then placing them on the parchment paper and on a sheet pan in the oven, 400 for 30 minutes. Okay, that's all we've done so far. So once the spaghetti squash are cut, all the pulp's removed, you're just gonna lightly, you could even use a spray avocado oil, or you could use oil just like this and use your hand to kind of make sure everything's coated. Add salt and pepper, and then you can just face it down on the parchment paper on the sheet pan, and then pop it in the oven. Once that's done, we are going to move on and go to assembling our sheet pan salmon meal. And I have a little asterisk beside it, but we're going to be adding some baby potatoes because basically it's just the salmon and asparagus and then the roasted radishes. So my kids probably wouldn't eat this, but they will eat some some potatoes. So I'm going to be doing both. So it's just a little bit more substantial. So I'm going to move on. And Rebecca, you just take your time and let me know if you need me to slow down. So I'm just going to go ahead and I washed and trimmed. And by trimmed the asparagus, I just mean I kind of snapped them off. I just found right here, the asparagus will let you know what part needs to be gone by just barely applying some pressure to all the ends. And because I'm doing asparagus and the radishes and the potatoes, I'm going to put the asparagus on its own sheet pan, so we'll have plenty of room. And then I'm going to add some spray avocado oil and salt and pepper. I might actually put the radishes on here as well. So I'm just going to chop the tops off. Anne, have you ever roasted any radishes?
No, but I like radishes a lot. I like slice them and then this is bad, but I dip them in ranch. I'm trying to get better. That's why I'm watching. But roasting them sounds great.
Yeah, it is good. They're surprisingly good. And they're really good. So the salmon meal or the salmon dinner it comes with this really delicious sauce, and it's way better than ranch, and it's homemade. So it's you should try it. All right, so I've got those guys off, and basically you're just gonna cut these in half depending on the size. And I'm just gonna throw these around the asparagus on the top and the bottom since I have some room. And I'll add some type of oil to these as well and make sure these have a lot of salt and pepper also. So if you can see this here, this is what it looks like. And I'm just gonna spray. A lot of times I use the spray because it just it coats the vegetables a lot. It's easier. They get evenly coated with the oil rather than just like soaked and sitting. And I don't like my roast to be so.
So you're just cutting them in half?
Yeah.
You're not thinly slicing. Okay.
Yeah, just cut them in half. Yeah, and then I'm just going to kind of jumble everything around to make sure everything seems like it's lightly oiled. And then I am going to add some salt and pepper to this. Lots of pepper for you, Anne.
Looks so good.
Yeah. All right, and then I'm just going to move this over here out of the way. So that's prepared. And that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight with the salmon. So if you have the salmon fresh, I'm going to use frozen. I'll have to let it fall out. but if you're going to use fresh, you're going to grab another sheet pan and just place it right in the middle of the sheet pan. Actually, we'll put it to the side, and we'll put our potatoes, our roasted baby potatoes, on one side. That way, if the salmon's done and the potatoes need to cook, you can just pull the salmon out and keep roasting the potatoes. So these baby potatoes are fairly large, so I'm going to cut them in half and just make sure they're even, you know, approximately the same size, just so we can make sure that they bake at the same rate. And then you're just going to put a little bit of oil, salt, and pepper, and on your salmon, because the secrets, the special, how this is going to be amazing and tie everything together is the sauce. So after everything's cooked, you'll add the sauce to everything, veggies and salmon. It says just put it on the salmon, but I put it on everything because it's so good. Okay. How are you doing, Rebecca? Okay?
Yes, I'm doing okay.
Or do you need me to slow down, or what stage are you right now?
I am just going to do the potatoes right now.
Okay. All right. And if you decide that you're like, I'm not cooking my salmon tonight, then you can just go ahead and prep this and prep all the veggies and then put them in a container or put them in a Ziploc or whatever or something, and you can just have them ready to go
Okay.
the next day. So
Okay.
however you like it. But this is what it would look like. So I have two kind of frozen salmon fillets here. So I would put the fillets here, a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. I usually get frozen wild caught fillets because they're really fresh and they're a lot cheaper. And there was a really long line at the seafood counter, so I was like, yep, this is what we're doing today. But they're, and a lot of times they're more fresh than what you're getting in the case. So olive oil, salt, and pepper on both of these, and then they're done. And I'm gonna walk you through how to make the sauce, but I'm gonna I'll go over it again. So you are going to need like a food processor, like a little blender or something. I have one of these. I have a Vitamix, but I'm just going to use this Ninja because it's such a small amount. I don't want to put all of it in the big Vitamix, but you can. So I really love this Primal mayo, but any kind of mayonnaise will work. And that is actually going to be your base. It said homemade, somebody, you know, I think the recipe called for homemade mayonnaise. I do not make homemade mayonnaise. This is perfectly fine. So a half a cup of homemade or store-bought mayonnaise. And I don't measure anything. I just kind of eyeball it. So that's about a half a cup. And then you are going to use the tarragon leaves here. 2 tablespoons, and I just pull them off, and then I'm just going to kind of tear them in half and place them in there. 2 tablespoons of those. And a half of a lemon, which is about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. So if you just have like lemon juice and the little thing already made, pre-made, you can just do 2 tablespoons. This is easy too. And then you need 2 cloves of garlic, and I am just using the minced garlic out of the jar. I do not have any fresh garlic this time, and most times I cheat and just use the minced garlic. Are you a fresh garlic person?
I try to be. Yeah, I try. I forgot I didn't get that ready, so I'll come back and do this stuff.
Yeah, this is something you can do.
Yeah.
Afterwards. And so you'll get the garlic. I mean, I don't even know what makes this sauce amazing. I guess it's the herbs, but it's so good. So you might honestly even think about doubling it, especially if you have a large family and you know that you'll be feeding a lot of mouths and they'll probably eat this up. So if you have the ingredients to double it, that would be my suggestion. You also could have it for later on in the week if you had like a salad or something else, and you could just reuse it again. So if, you know, while we're going through the trouble of making this homemade sauce, you might as well just, you know, really double it, make the most out of it. And then I usually just will keep it in a little jar, or and even in this, sometimes I'm just really lazy. And excuse the noise for a second. And then if you find that it's not, see, I think I put too much mayonnaise, but use the lemon juice to kind of thin it out. So if it's not combining very well, just open it back up and add some more lemon juice. But yeah, it's amazing. So good. All right. So that is your first dinner and all ready to go. But you can come back and make the sauce if you need to. Where are you on the veggies?
I got the veggies ready.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to start working on our second dish. And that is going to be what we're going to be using the spaghetti squash for. So we're going to do the stuffing right now while that's baking, okay? So we need mushrooms, and we need the ground turkey. We need the bell pepper, 1 small bell pepper, 1 small onion. Let's see what else we need. I said mushrooms already. Italian seasoning. We need some more garlic. And a little bit of oil. And your tomato sauce, whatever type of tomato sauce you got. If you got any pepperoni, you can use that. Fresh basil, if you have it as well. So those are all the ingredients. I'll call them out again. Spaghetti squash is cooking, so that's already in there. Some type of avocado or olive oil, 1 small onion, a small bell pepper. I'm gonna use, I'll use a green. My mom was so cute. She's like, is there anything I can do? So I had her like cutting peppers earlier. So luckily I have that bell pepper already sliced. All right, and then the zucchini, did I say zucchini? 1 medium zucchini. Now this onion, the bell pepper, and the zucchini and the mushrooms are gonna be finely chopped. So very small little pieces, okay?
Okay.
Then I'm gonna get chopping, and I'll let you chop too.
Okay.
I'll pull this down so you can see what I'm doing. And a lot of people ask me if I wash my mushrooms. I don't, but if I notice they're really dirty and pretty gross, I'll get a damp paper towel and kind of wipe them off. But I don't usually rinse or wash them. They just kind of soak up all the water.
How much mushroom?
It says 8 ounces. I'm gonna just use, so I don't know what kind of container you have, but I'm probably gonna use about half of this.
Yeah, I have, yeah, it's 8 ounces. Okay.
Okay, yeah, just use 8 ounces. Yeah, the stuffing that goes in the squash, you're gonna have a lot of it, and if you want to, you could, save half and save it or freeze it or whatnot, or you could also because we're using some of the spaghetti squash as well, you could use the spaghetti squash, not use all the spaghetti squash and save that in another container, because we're going to be filling the actual squash with the stuffing and baking them back in the oven. Another option is also, if you don't want to use the actual squash, you can put it in a casserole dish like this. So you don't have to, oh boy, somebody else put away the dishes, which is so nice, but now I don't know what anything is. Oh, here it is. So if you don't want to put it in the squash and stuff the squash, you could put it in a casserole dish like this and bake it like that. So that's another option. Because there's going to be a lot of stuffing, and I have a feeling that it's going to overflow. All right, now time for the onion.
Trying to chop all this up. I was at the farmer's market yesterday in Beaufort.
Yeah.
And they had a person from farm that just had all these different kind of mushrooms. I wasn't
like
going to Savannah. I would have gotten some. It was amazing. I'd never seen that different kind.
Yeah, we
But,
used to
yeah,
go,
it was interesting.
and we used to go in Portland because how damp and everything it was all the time, and go mushroom hunting and find like chanterelles and these really like expensive mushrooms.
Nice.
So fun. But yeah, were they all like funky looking?
Yeah, they were. I didn't even know you could eat mushrooms like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get everything as small as I possibly can. Okay. I'm using a cast iron skillet, but you can use any type of pan or pot that you wanted to use. I'm just going to go ahead and heat it up and warm up the skillet. Oops. All right, so you're gonna add to the skillet a little bit of oil. I think it calls for about 2 teaspoons of oil. So while it's heating up, go ahead and add the oil. You want the oil to be hot once you start sauteing. And then you are going to add your veggies. So we'll go ahead and add your zucchini and the onions and the peppers first. Oh, and the mushrooms. So we'll add them all. And then we'll add the ground turkey after we get these sauteed just for a while. So I'm going to move here. My skillet's getting hot.
Should go ahead and salt and pepper everything.
Yeah, once you get in the skillet, maybe you want to add your salt and pepper.
Okay.
Yeah, salt and pepper, and then also we'll let them cook for a while, and then we'll add the garlic and the Italian seasoning. So we'll need about 2 cloves of garlic, but we don't want to add the garlic quite yet, or the seasoning. We don't want it to burn. Rebecca, do you have an Instant Pot?
I do.
Oh, good. Okay. Is it out, or we could use it? Because
yeah, I can grab it. Yeah, it's right. It's easy.
Yeah, we could make our soup in that, and it'll be a lot quicker.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm still chopping. Sorry, I'm a slow chopper.
No. You're fine.
Okay.
I already had a couple things prepped, so I had a little bit. I cheated a little bit. So no rush.
Okay, but yeah, I totally. It's right here. I can pull it out really easily.
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need it quite yet. I was just thinking. We'll prepare that next after we get this situated.
Okay, perfect.
I'm still chopping too.
Yeah, there's lots of chopping, but you're getting it done now, and you'll do it later.
Yeah,
I know. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it says to let that go for about 5 to 6 minutes. What are you chopping, Anne?
Sorry, I had you on mute.
That's okay.
I did the onion and the zucchini, some of the onion. I like that little chopper thing I have that just puts it all in it.
Oh yeah, that's convenient.
It looks so good. I just want to eat one.
Oh, it's smelling really good.
I know garlic and onions. It smells so good.
Yeah, it does smell great.
Okay, now I just have to do the bell pepper.
Go ahead and get a skillet warm, Anne, so you can throw it all in there.
I'm finished chopping. So is it on the pan should be warming on medium?
Yeah, I would put it it on medium or medium high,
Okay.
and just let it warm up, or using like a pan or a skillet or something.
I'm just using a pan.
A pan, fine. Yeah, perfect. Yep, put a little bit of oil in there, and then I would just dump everything in.
Okay.
It's a lot of veggies.
Yeah.
And then let that go for about 5 minutes. Mine's been going for about 5 minutes, so I'm going to add my garlic now and the Italian seasoning. And then I'm going to stir it around, and then now I'm going to add the turkey, the ground turkey. Now it smells really, really good. All right, so we're just going to get, after you get the veggies cooked, you're going to get the meat nice and brown, and then you will add, I think it just calls for a 24 ounces of your sauce. And if you want to add cheese to your mixture, you can, and the pepperoni, sorry. Or you could just put it on top. So those are your options. You can mix it in, or you can do both.
So the sauce that you're making with the mayonnaise and lemon and everything.
That's for the salmon and the asparagus and the first dinner that we made.
Right.
This sauce right here with the marinara and what we're doing right now is going to go into it's called pizza stuffed spaghetti squash. So when the spaghetti squash comes out of the oven, we'll actually get like the noodles out of the squash,
Yum.
combine everything together, and you have the option to stuff the spaghetti squash with the mixture, or you can cook it in a casserole dish.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, and my timer just went off for the spaghetti squash, so I'll check that and see how it looks after I flip this a little bit. Okay, let's see how my spaghetti squash looks. Oh, yeah. Okay. So to know when the spaghetti squash are done, like I have two halves that are smaller than these big ones. So I'm going to show you here. I kind of just use my finger, or you can make sure you have a towel or something. If it's a little mushy, it's probably done. Another way is like you just flip it over and you can grab a fork and kind of, yeah. So that one's definitely done. I think my larger ones need to go in a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm just going to leave them in a couple more minutes. Maybe like 5 more minutes. Did you set a timer for your squash by chance?
I did.
Okay. All right. veggies looking? Or is it time to put in the meat yet, Rebecca?
I think like 1 more minute.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna put the garlic in right now.
Okay, yeah, add the garlic and the Italian seasoning.
Okay.
Do you have it?
Yep.
If not, like some oregano or something would work. And then if you have any fresh basil, we're gonna sprinkle that at the very end after everything's cooked. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a lot of it's a big hearty meal. I mean, I will probably, just because my husband's gone and I just am a big leftovers for breakfast type of person, so I'll probably like make some eggs and put some eggs on it tomorrow for breakfast in the morning, or just kind of, I'll be eating this for quite some time. Mini meals, good leftovers. All right, so I added the sauce and everything's just kind of combined and it looks and smells amazing. And the recipe calls just to let it kind of all come together. And then now we're gonna get the spaghetti squash out of the oven. And I'm just gonna let it cool over here. And turn everything off. All right, now I'm gonna flip the spaghetti squash over and over, and let everything kind of cool down. And once those cool down, after we maybe do the soup, then you can come back to that and we can put everything together, and so it's not scalding hot right now. All right. How is your squash coming along?
Mine's still in the oven a few more minutes. And then the turkey, so brown it first and then throw the sauce in.
Yeah, so brown the turkey once the veggies are cooked.
Okay.
After you added the garlic and the garlic
Yep.
and the Italian seasoning,
Yep.
brown the turkey, let it cook all the way through, so it's not pink anymore.
Okay.
Once that's done, then you're gonna add the jar of sauce.
Okay.
And then you just combine it, maybe let it simmer for a minute or two or whatever. And I just turned it off and left it over there with the other stuff.
And then I did buy pepperoni, so throw some of that in.
Yeah, so throw the pepperoni. You'll do that once you get the squash involved. So just have those chopped.
Okay. Okay.
And or not. You don't have to chop them. And then
Okay.
you just throw it in together with
Oh,
it.
okay. Perfect.
Yeah, once it cools down.
Okay.
All right. So did you happen to grab your Instant Pot?
I'll do that right now.
Okay.
It's right here.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay, all right, so now we are going to, okay, Instant Pot is on, but we're not gonna hit the salt. Well, I guess you can. You can go ahead and hit the saute button on the Instant Pot while we dice this onion, okay?
Okay.
So that way it'll be warming up. And just one small onion.
One small onion, chop it.
Yeah, just chop
Okay.
it. Anyway.
And no spray or anything in the Instant
Oh yeah,
Pot? I
so
got one
yeah,
now.
you'll put once you turn it on, give it a minute, then you're gonna add
Yeah.
about probably like a tablespoon of oil.
Okay, oil, normal oil. Okay,
Yeah, I would use avocado or olive oil.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then after you get your onion diced, you're gonna move on to your zucchini. You should have 2 more zucchini left. And once you get your onions chopped, I would just go ahead and throw it in the Instant Pot. And we're gonna let those cook for a couple minutes, just like 2 or 3 minutes by themselves. So make sure you get those in first. If you don't have an Instant Pot, you can use just a regular pot on the stove. Same thing, you'll just put olive oil, avocado oil, some type of oil, and let it heat up a bit. Add the onions. And stir them around, make sure they get coated in the oil that's on the bottom. Okay, so for this recipe, you're going to need the zucchini and the shredded chicken, 4 cloves of garlic, 1 can of green enchilada sauce, 1 can of diced green chilies, and you are going to need 4 cups of chicken broth and 2 green bell peppers, diced. So back with the green peppers. Now, go ahead and start chopping your zucchini and your green bell peppers.
Put the lid back on the Instant Pot.
So the zucchini, I'm gonna actually cut in half and, whoop, slippery little guy. So I'll cut in half and then I'll slice this way. Just cut the ends off, cut in half. It doesn't really matter the thickness, just, maybe like a ½ inch to an inch thick. Just try to get them cut the same size. Also gonna need some cumin, my favorite. Go ahead and open up my cans. I don't know what kind of enchilada sauce you got, but you've seen this brand, right? Siete?
That's what I got.
Yes, it's so good. So good. I wasn't sure if I'd linked this or not, but I've made this like multiple times specifically with this one. I know there's different, obviously brands and spice levels and things like that, but this is amazing. And I like
My onion sauteing in the Instapot, and then do the zucchini.
Yeah, I cut my zucchini in half and then cut them like this.
Okay.
And then after you do the zucchini, then we'll move on to the bell peppers. But the onions are gonna cook by themselves for a couple minutes.
Okay.
And the bell peppers I would chop, but I wouldn't finely chop them because you don't want them to kind of disintegrate in the Instant Pot when we're using the pressure cooker. Okay. All right, I'm gonna add the garlic now. And all of my veggies. Once you get all your veggies in, so once you get them chopped, you can go ahead and throw them into the Instant Pot and just go ahead and turn the Instant Pot off. If you're using a regular pot on your stove, keep it on for sure. Just keep it on medium to medium high heat. All right, so now all we're gonna do after we got all the vegetables in, we're gonna add remaining ingredients, okay, which is 1 can of diced green chilies, 1 jar of the green enchilada sauce. Oh, it's hard to. So good. 4 cups of chicken broth. Okay. 2 cans of white beans, if you're using those. And then we'll add our salt and pepper and a tablespoon or so of the ground cumin. I really love this spice, so I'll add a little bit more.
How much garlic did you add?
It calls for 4 cloves, but whatever
Okay.
you got, I would say 2 to 4 cloves of garlic. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. My dogs are barking and scratching at the door, but it's been raining here and they decided to dig, so they're completely covered in mud. So after this, I've got to now bathe them. Thank you, dogs. Just what I wanted to do. All right. Salt and pepper. You don't honestly need a lot of salt. There's a good amount of salt in the enchilada sauce, so I just put a little bit and I'm add my pepper, which is hiding from me somewhere. Here it is. Okay. Also, the last but not least, we're not going to add it in there, the chicken. Okay, so you have the option to add it in. I think that it just cooks it because it's a cooked rotisserie chicken. I add it in after I cook my vegetables, because otherwise it just kind of gets too done, I think. So I'm going to leave it out. I have all of the meat pulled off of my rotisserie chicken. And once this is done, if you're using a regular pot on the stove, go ahead and you want to cook, you want to go ahead and maybe bring it to a boil 20 to 30 minutes, or simmer, sorry. Yeah, bring it to a boil and then just simmer it for 20 to 30 minutes, and then add in the chicken at the very last thing you do. If you're using an Instant Pot, like I am, make sure everything is off the sides. Make sure it's nice and combined. And then you're gonna make sure the vent is closed and go to high pressure. And you wanna cook for 4 minutes, and that'll get your vegetables. Actually, you know what? Let's do it 3 minutes, and that'll get them nice and done.
Okay, so sorry, because I was busy while you're talking. So now I put the vegetables in.
Yep.
So now we put the salsa.
Do
we drain the beans?
Yes, drain the beans. Sorry, drain them and rinse them, and put those in there as well.
Okay.
The only thing you're not going to put in is the chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the coconut milk too? Or is that a different recipe?
That is the next recipe.
Oh, okay.
I know they all look good. I keep even trying to add more to this one, to the soup. I think I've done good. Do you think
What does it look? Let me
is
see it.
the zucchini too big? I just don't know if I chopped them too big.
You know what? But
And the bell pepper.
once you cook it, it'll all cook down and be, you know, and it'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just use that chopper thing. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
Thanks.
perfect. Yeah.
And you said turn it off, right? The Instant Pot?
Yeah. Did you turn it off?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, and then you want to cancel the saute, and then you want to turn it to pressure cook and cook it for 3 minutes on high pressure, and make sure
Okay, thank you.
the vent is closed.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. How you doing? Did you get it all in there?
Not yet. I got the beans and then
Good.
green chilies.
Perfect.
Do I need to, the green chilies, do I need to drain?
Nope, don't.
Just pour it in?
Yeah, you
And-
just 1 can of those.
Oh, just 1 can of these?
Uh-huh.
Well, how much? Because my cans are small, like 7 ounces.
Oh yeah, so it says 1 can of 1 4-ounce
Yeah.
can is what it calls for.
1 4-ounce can?
Yeah, 1 4-ounce can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me go get that. And then the chicken broth, right?
Yes, 4 cups of chicken broth.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And then we had a red onion. If you want to dice that up later, it's really great on top of the soup. So I'm just going to leave that. I'll do that later. Now, moving forward to our last dish, we are going to be just kind of organizing for because my shrimp's still frozen. I know you said your shrimp was still frozen, Rebecca. So I just kind of, I'm leaving my shrimp in the freezer, and I'm going to put it over cauliflower rice, and just chopped roasted red peppers, and I leave them cut in strips, and all the broccoli is chopped in little florets. And the shrimp curry is going to be served over that. Basically it's a super easy dish. You're just going to, in the saucepan, basically, same thing how we did for the soup. You're just going to saute, add an onion, cook it down. Then you're going to add in all the aromatics like the garlic, the ginger, the pepper, the coriander, turmeric, and curry powder. Yep, and that's it. And then you add the diced tomatoes and the coconut milk and bring it to a boil. And then after that's all done, you just add the shrimp and it's done. You put it over, you can serve it over whatever you want. Rice, cauliflower rice, the veggies like I had specified on your menu. And how I roast the vegetables is just on a plain sheet pan with salt and pepper and olive oil, and cook them for about 20 minutes. And it just is a good kind of a way to add extra vegetables into this like pretty rich meal, you know? So that's really the last meal that we're doing. So you got the stuff, you're getting the stuff in right now. Okay, perfect.
Okay, I have that in the pressure cooker.
Okay, good. Okay, 3 minutes and you're good. Okay, so then when 3 minutes comes along, all you're gonna do is you're gonna do a quick release of the pressure, and then you're gonna add in your chicken, and it's done.
Okay.
And that's it. And so, the only thing you have left to do, which I've got to hop off because I also do another one at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is just I usually get all the spices prepped, and so it's really easy. I just dump and go the night that I make the shrimp dish.
Okay.
All the spice blends ready, and I just dump it in there and kind of have everything organized. Like I'll keep my coconut and can of tomatoes together in the pantry, so I know, and it's got, I think, the onion, and I know that night I'll just grab everything with the spices and be ready.
Okay, perfect.
You'll just need to cut up your broccoli, and I keep mine in like a container, a Ziploc bag, and that stays fresh. I'll put like a paper towel in the container, so since it will be a couple days before I eat this, so it absorbs some of the moisture. And that is it. And like I have some leftover mushrooms, I'll throw that in there, that dish as well too.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, but and also don't forget about your spaghetti squash.
Right.
So just combine everything. Add your cheese if you want. If you're Whole30, you can leave it out. Add your pepperoni and put it either back into the squash or in your casserole dish.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
Great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Okay, I'll see you soon. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Anne.